Hi and welcome to the Knitting Hobbit Podcast episode, what is it now, 11, 12? I can't remember. My name is Rut, I'm a knitter based in the Netherlands and this is my little space where I share what I've been up to and what I've been knitting. Today there's also a bit of spinning. Today I have a finished object, I have a half finished object and I have some new WIPS and an ongoing WIP. What I am wearing today is actually not something that I knit myself. This is actually a jumper that I swapped with the lovely cat from Heather and Hops. A little while ago, she made a video where she talked through all her jumpers and said she would like to swap some that she wasn't wearing. And I had an alpaca jumper that I couldn't wear because it was, for me personally, it was super itchy. So I got into contact with her and we swapped. So instead of the itchy alpaca jumper, I now have this really lovely... I think it's knitted merino. I forgot the name of the pattern, but it's from Jennifer Steingas, who is Knit Love Wool. So yeah, and I really love it. Turns out me and Kat are pretty much the same size because it fits quite perfectly and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, that is what I'm wearing today. Just arranging I have this little cushion in the back that I can move up and it was all the way down. So let's start with the stuff I've been knitting. So my first finished object is these little mittens. I think I shared this last week, or were they actually already finished? I really can't remember now. Anyway, I finished these, but they were too big. I will show you. I honestly can't remember if I showed this, but as you can see, I have loads of space left over. So I am working on another pair that will be for myself. So this is the child size, and I still need to fold this down and sew it down, same as the thumb. But as you can see, it's quite a bit smaller. I kept the same length as the original one, as the adult version. Because I did like that, but just a lot more narrow, so it does actually fit my hand. I will show you it on. So this is how this one fits, and it's just a lot better. Like there's still some space left over, but it's quite nice and snug now, especially when I'll have this folded down so you can see the picot edge. I'm really happy with this. So this is my half finished object. I need to sew this down and I need to make the second one. I am knitting this out of this Arreta color. I have no clue what the color is, but it will be up on my Ravelry. So I always have my project page linked down below, so have a look over there if you are curious. By the way, I am filming on my laptop again because it is just so much easier for me to get it uploaded on YouTube because I kept having issues with transferring from my phone to my laptop. So the camera quality isn't too great. I am looking at webcams, so if you have a webcam recommendation, one that's affordable but has good quality, then definitely leave a comment down below. I did swap it over to the other side, so the lighting is a lot better because I have actual daylight now here. And I do quite like this spot as well, and it's a lot more comfy for me to sit in an actual chair than to sit on the floor where I used to sit in front of my my Colox from IKEA. So I like this. It just needs a little bit of improvement. So that's my half finished object. These are, I've got a little bit of brain fog. These are called the School Run Mitts and they're from Penrose Knits, who is also, whose name is Laura, and she also has a really lovely podcast, but I bet you know her already because her podcast has grown so insanely fast. She has so many followers. It's a bit crazy to me. But yeah, and then one that you can also already see lying down over here is my, a bit tangled up. It's my Wool and Honey. This is the front. And as you can see, I have separated for the sleeves. I am currently working on the body. This is about how much I have done on the body. So I still definitely have a long way to go. But I am really enjoying this pattern. The body is going to take a while, and sometimes when I have to purl a lot, it kind of starts hurting my hands, so I'm taking it slow on this one. And I was thinking that for the sleeves I would just pick up the stitches all around, but just not join in around and just keep going back and forth. Excuse me. So that I can just knit instead of having to purl a lot. And then then just sew up like the one side, the underarm, when I'm finished. I thought that would be a pretty good idea. If you have any other suggestions or agree with me or something, or any thoughts whatsoever, please do share them with me. I don't mind knitting the body like this, but I would like the sleeves to go pretty quickly because I know that when the body of this is finished, I will want to wear this as soon as possible. And it will also just be really nice for my hands to not have to purl as much as I have to now. I have a little bit of a break from that. But yeah, this is knit. If you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, I'm knitting this in Quince & Co. I think it's called Finch. It's their fingering weight base. It's 100% American wool. And the color is called Apricot. I got this yarn through a yarn swap with Knit Crits, who also has a really lovely podcast here on YouTube, so I recommend checking her out. All I have to say about this really is that I really enjoy knitting this pattern. I love that it doesn't just like have a line where the honeycombs stop, but that it goes down a bit, as you can see, and that it goes down a bit random points throughout the jumper. So this is the front, and then this is the back, which has the short rows up here. Do I have anything else to say about this? I've tried it on, and at the moment when I try it on, the collar does sit a bit, like you can see it now, it goes quite a bit high up against my neck, but I will think that with a good wash and a good block and just general gravity doing its work, that it will go down to a normal like crew neck. So I do think that will be fine. Yeah, enjoyable knit, super squishy and lovely, and I think this will be a really nice and cozy jumper that I'm definitely looking forward to wearing. So then I have another jumper on my needles. I want to share a different one first that I forgot to grab. Give me a minute. So, if you are a long-time viewer, this one is quite familiar to you. It has been on my needles for a while. This is also one I'm just taking it slow with. But this is the Kozenkofte. It's like a jacket cardigan thing that is designed by Skeindeer Knits, and as you can see, it has a very Norwegian pattern. I finally got over halfway of the really big Selby roses, and then after this it's just a bit more of I think there's two more that are kind of similar to this, to these two patterns that are a bit more simple for the very top, and then it's time to bind off and to sew the shoulders together and to cut the steeks. So that will hopefully happen soon. This is the inside of it. So as you can see, it's going to be really lovely and warm because this is such a, it creates a really nice and dense fabric. So I think it will be really lovely to wear this winter. So I definitely want to finish this before it starts getting really cold. Now I had a thought about the sleeves again, just like with the wool and honey, that I would like your opinions on. Asking for a lot of opinions, sleeve opinions today. But so what I'm kind of like struggling in between is that the pattern tells you to knit the sleeves bottom up and then sew the sleeves onto like the body, because you have, I think, no, this is the main one, like on the sides here you at some point add where is it, here, you add a couple stitches to make the steek. It's just like this bit to make the armhole steek, which will kind of fall down here because it's a dropped shoulder design. So she has you knit the sleeves bottom up and then sew them on to there. The only thing that I'm kind of struggling with is that I'm not the biggest sewist, and the last time I had to sew sleeves, like the circumference onto a cardigan body, was way too tight, and I really struggled with getting it really neat. The thing though is that will make the color work match perfectly, because you knit this bottom up, and of course you have the fleece over here and stuff, so they would all, like the little V's would all be pointing the same direction. But I was thinking of picking up the stitches around the armhole and then knitting it down, so the sleeves then won't match the cardigan, but I won't have to sew. So that is kind of like, I'm not sure if it would be super noticeable if I would knit the sleeves top down instead of bottom up. So I would like your opinions on that. I prefer to not sew. I did say that with the wool and honey, I'm like thinking of sewing it, but yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm a bit scared because I messed it up this way previously. So anyway, that is this cardigan. Now it's onto my secret little knit. That is for my brother's birthday, which I mentioned last week, but I hadn't cast on yet. So this one I'm not showing on Instagram, because my brother does follow me there, but he doesn't watch these entire videos. He just, I think sometimes he just opens it and skims through, but I don't know. Let's just hope he doesn't watch. I do know he sometimes reads the comments, so be a bit secretive in there if you want to ask me anything about this project. Don't mention him, I think then it will be fine. Just don't say the jumper for your brother. But anyway, it's the single malt jumper, which I have over here. And this is a jumper I am knitting for my brother for his birthday. His birthday is in February, so I know I started really early. But I just also wanted to take it slow with this. I don't like deadlines with my knitting. So I just wanted to start it on time, so I don't have to worry about having it finished on time. And if I just knit a bit every once in a while on this, it will easily be finished on time. So this is a single malt by Maxime Sear. I always tend to forget his name, but it's Max the Knitter on Instagram. And he is also part of Le Garçon. I can't speak French, so excuse me if my pronunciation of that was terrible. But this is how it's looking so far. I'm working on the raglan, and I'm like over halfway through the raglan. It's looking really tiny because my cable is quite small, but it is very stretchy, so as you can see, it easily fit him. Also, my brother is not like a really big guy. He's tall but not very wide, so I don't have to make, I think it's like a medium, around a medium that I'm making. So yeah, I'm using Concept by Katia Lagom, and this yarn, it is so light. Like what I've knit so far, it weighs absolutely nothing, and I'm really enjoying it. It is 47% virgin wool, and then 40% cotton, and then it has a little bit of polyamide. Usually I don't like to knit with synthetic fibers, but this was such a small percentage that I don't really mind that much. And I really wanted to make a nice and lightweight jumper that is not just for the very, very cold days, but is a bit more well-rounded all throughout winter. So I think that this yarn is really perfect for that. And I also think the pattern is looking really nice in it. I'll show you a bit more close. I know the resolution of this camera isn't great, but you can see it. It's just not as sharp as you'd maybe like. So far this has been really enjoyable. One thing that I've never done before is that this pattern, as you can see, like over here, like it's going, the shirt rows are into the ribbing, and that has been a lot of fun. I've never done that before, so you can see here definitely the front ribbing is a lot shorter than a back ribbing. So I'm curious to see how that wears. I do enjoy it, because then when you're knitting the pattern, you just have to focus on the pattern and the raglan increases, and there's not like you have to start this new pattern that you've not knit before and think of the short rows and then how you do that in the pattern. You just have to follow the ribbing, which is easy enough. So yeah, that's how that's going. Really fun knit as well. It is like you have one pattern row and then one row where you just knit. So it's not like too heavy on the brain either. It's just enough to keep you interested. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. If it turns out as nice as I think it will, I might make one for myself, but then probably more girly so that my brother won't notice I've made the same jumper for myself, maybe in like a pink or something like that, a pink or maybe a purple. Yeah, fun knit. Definitely recommend. The pattern is super clear, by the way. I've never knit any of Max's patterns before, but it's super clear, easy to follow. I'd say an adventurous beginner can definitely do this because like the little structure, the texture is very easy to knit as well, and it's just a simple raglan. Not sure what can go wrong really. So yeah, I'd say maybe an adventurous beginner pattern. And I'm still in my first ball. It's kind of like fallen apart. But this is what I have left of my first ball, and so this is all I've knit so far. So I'll probably get towards the end of the raglan at least with this ball. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting cold, so just a second. Okay, I'm back. So then I have just a little bit of spinning to share. I have been doing a lot of spinning. So I talked about like my energy issues lately, and they have resulted in me just working half days, which means I have had a lot of knitting and spinning time. So yeah, that's why I have so much to share in this episode. So the first spinning that I finished is this one. I'll show you up close so you can see all the different colors in there. This is a BFL and nylon blend. So I think I spun it at nearly like around a DK weight somewhere. So I can make some DK weight socks with this for myself, which I'm really excited about, to have my hand spun socks. I think they will be really lovely. Like the green and stuff is not really my colors, but I do think they are quite pretty, and I am looking forward to making some socks with these. It's 100 grams, by the way, so I think it will be enough, and I knit mine 2 at a time anyway, so yeah, I can just stop whenever I run out of yarn. So if they're a bit shorter, I don't mind that either. So I just spun this like normally, and then I chain plied it, which might be my new favorite way to ply, because it's so easy. And even though I do quite enjoy a barber pull effect, it's just not always. So with this, as you can see, you get a little variation in the strand, but not that much, because the colors around it are pretty similar. And I definitely really enjoy that a lot. So yeah, somewhere in the future these will become socks. Then there's another one that I finished, which is this one, which has been on my spinning wheel for forever. The reason behind that is that I actually, so as you may know, I use a Ashford e-spinner, and I lost my power cord, and you do kind of need a power cord for an e-spinner. So that's why this was on there for ages. But I finally got around to finishing it because I found my power cord again. Turns out my mom tidied it away and I didn't know where. So this is also chain plied, and it's just got variations of pink. I have no clue what to do this with. I think this one is a bit closer to a worsted weight. It's also 100 grams. It's just pure sheep. I don't know. Remember what kind of sheep, because I lost the label of the fiber. But yeah, that's what that is. And then I also have one that's currently on my spinner, which I have over here. So this is the fiber. This is 100% merino. It's super soft, and as you can see, it's all like different shades of purple. There's sometimes a bit more like of a baby pink in there, like over here. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to spin, and this is how it's looking spun up. The lighting makes it a bit more bluish than it looks like in real life, but it is very much purple. That's a bit better color-wise. I just have to go far away. So this is the actual color, but close by you can see how I'm spinning it. So yeah, I don't have much to say about like spinning, except for look what I did, because I spin everything pretty much the same. The only thing for me that changes is if I chain ply it, or if I just simply two ply it. So because I only had 100 grams of these two, I chain plied it. But this one, the purple, I might two ply, because I have 3 more braids, so 4 in total, so 400 grams. So yeah. So that is everything I have to share today. It was quite a lot. I feel like I went through it quite quickly. I didn't waffle on too much. So that might be a good thing, that might be a bad thing. I don't know which you prefer. So yeah, I will continue working half days until I know more. So there will be a lot more knitting and spinning coming up. Although with the recent Animal Crossing update, I have been grabbing my Switch a lot more than I have in the past. So I'm a little bit distracted by Animal Crossing, and the new Pokemon games are coming up soon. So yeah, I hope you have a really nice week, and I will see you soon. Because the working from home stuff is has gotten its life blown back into itself. I might not be able to film on Monday. I'll have to see if I can film on Sunday if I'm like home alone, but I can't guarantee anything. So I will try to film every week, if not every other week. But if I'm getting really weird and off schedule, it's because of that. Because things are getting wild again here. Let's just keep it on that. So yeah, I hope to see you soon. And that's it for today. Bye bye.